These days, the government's run by a bunch of Satanist cannibals that deal heroin. In my city, they have a bunch of Satanist cannibals with male pattern baldness at the police station, and they operate a child snuff ring in my community. Now, this is the founder of the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey, and his wife, Zena LaVey. There's two things you need to remember here. One thing is this is the Hail Satan gang sign. The Hail Satan gang sign is your index finger and your pinky finger up and the rest of your fingers down. That's all you really need to remember about the gang sign. The second thing you need to remember about this, the way that the hairlines are on the Satanist women. They all have male pattern baldness. They wear wigs, and the wigs have a bald spot in the front, and they're completely bald under those wigs. This is another example of the way Satanist women wear their hairline. Notice that this woman also has male pattern baldness. Now let's recap who this is. This is the founder of the Church of Satan on the far left, Anton LaVey. In the middle, that's Peter Gilmore. And on the far right, that's, I don't know, maybe Peter Gilmore's girlfriend, or maybe it's Zena LaVey. I can't tell from here. Anyway, note two things. This is a gay church. The Church of Satan is a gay church. Also, the women in their church all have male pattern baldness, like Kamala Harris or Nancy Pelosi or every woman in BLM or every female news anchor, all those Satanist women. I'm going to show you examples. Now, I want to point something out. Companies like YouTube, keep in mind that Google owns YouTube. Companies like Instagram, they like to delete my content because they're Satanist cannibal run companies as well. I'm not bashing anybody here for being gay. In fact, truth be told, some of my favorite people in the entire world are girls that I thought were girls that I found out later on weren't girls at all. They're cross-dressers. They look like girls, but they weren't. So point being is I'm not discriminating here. On that note, let's have a word about equality. Let's say that somebody gets accused of something. Whether they're black or white or gay or straight or whatever their color or race or gender or identity, that really don't fucking matter. Either you're innocent or you're guilty, and that's really what it comes down to. But see, since Google and Instagram and Twitter are all Satanist cannibal run companies that are all members of the Church of Satan, a gay church, if you say anything about gay people and they're like, oh, that's hate speech. Now, bullshit. The thing about it is we're all Americans and we're all protected by the Constitution and all the rights and laws that govern our country. Equal is what we're supposed to be. But when you decide that the rights of straight people don't matter, when you decide that gay people are allowed to murder people, you've went way past not only discrimination, but onto some other shit that I don't even think there's a word to describe. Seriously, let's think about this logically. Gay people and straight people are people. Some of them are good and some of them are bad. To try to act like it's hate speech to accuse a gay person of something, it's not. Just the same as it's no different than accusing a straight person. Because we're the same, right? Equality, fairness. So, some gay people are bad and some of them are good, just the same way as straight people are. It's no fucking different. So here's my point. If a straight person is accused of a crime, and let's say the news did it, the news that Satanist cannibals run, would they take it down? No, because they're allowed to accuse straight people of things, right? But if a gay person does something wrong and you accuse them of it, is that hate speech? Fuck no, it isn't. And to try to act like, gay people get more rights and privileges on Instagram or Google shows 100% that they discriminate against straight people and they give special rights and privileges to gay people, especially Satanist gay people who murder for them. The people at Google were dumb enough to send me an email saying that they deleted my account because I was saying bad things about a protected class of people. I could have swore that we were all equals in America and we were all subject to the same laws and privileged with the same rights and amendments under the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. But according to Google, discrimination is okay in America, and they're allowed to discriminate against straight people, and they're allowed to, give special rights and privileges to the gay Satanist cannibals that fucking work for them. They're not covering that shit up because it's hate speech. They're not covering that shit up because they're trying to protect gay people. They're covering that shit up because they're Satanist cannibals, and these people that I'm trying to, get busted, murder for them. They don't just murder for them. They mass murder hundreds of thousands of women and children for them. They torture women and children to death for them. Can you tell that I'm passionate about the subject? Anyway, getting off topic, so back to the Air Force. So once again, here's a picture from the official Instagram Air Force page of the United States Air Force. And here's a close-up of the gang sign the guy's throwing up. Notice, his index finger's up, his pinky finger's up. This means Hail Satan. This is the Church of Satan Devil's Horns. We already talked about this. Now, this right here is one of the founders of the Church of Satan, Peter Gilmore, and you can see his name printed right next to him. Same guy I showed you with Anton LaVey earlier, except for he's a lot older now. Now here's Peter Gilmore with some of his friends. Notice Peter Gilmore's throwing up the same exact Hail Satan gang sign as the guy in the Air Force, the same exact way. And here's the guy in the Air Force from the official Air Force Instagram page. throwing up that same Church of Satan, Hail Satan gang sign. Here's a close-up of it. See? Index finger up, pinky finger up. I looped a few images so you could see them over and over and compare them. This is the same thing. This is the Church of Satan gang sign, the official Air Force Instagram account. Let's talk about how close-eyed America is. Now, let's say that the Bloods and Crips took over in a terrorist occupation of our country. Our president was wearing a red rag. Our other president was wearing a blue rag. Our Speaker of the House was wearing a red rag. All of our presidents throwing up gang signs too. And not just gang signs, but fucking Al-Qaeda gang signs. Same as Bin Laden. Now, if you don't believe that our presidents are in bed with the Muslim countries, then why the fuck is George Bush holding hands with King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia in this picture? Holding hands. So anyway, I digress. Back to the point. We've already associated the male pattern baldness with Satanism, with Anton LaVey's wife and Peter Gilmore's wife or whatever. So I showed you those pictures. Those are the founders of the Church of Satan. Nothing more satanic. That's associated with those male pattern baldness women. Women don't have male pattern baldness. Satanist women do. Now, we also associated them with terrorism. So those male pattern baldness having women, they're associated with terrorism, they're associated with Satanism, they're associated with Al-Qaeda. Now, let's talk about the generals. So, to quote my source, I got all this list of army generals and other pictures from Wikipedia. If you want to, you can go look at it yourself. So any sane person would probably look at these pictures and ask themselves, why the fuck is it that all these women all have a comb over a male pattern baldness? In fact, you might even ask yourself, are any of these people women? Like, seriously, are they? I don't think any of these female generals are females at all. I think every one of them's a cross-dresser. Now, I'm not discriminating on gay people and I'm not discriminating on cross-dressers. But at the same time, you gotta ask yourself, why the hell is it that all these women all have male pattern baldness when women don't get male pattern baldness? These are the Satanist cannibals I've been telling you about. And the reason that people like Al-Qaeda get away with attacking America and nothing fucking happens is because they run the armed forces. You look at Al-Qaeda, all those women in Al-Qaeda have the same male pattern baldness shit going on. Same as Nancy Pelosi, same as Kamala Harris, same as every woman in the news. Now, if Crips were wearing blue rags on their head and they were running our country, you'd be concerned. So perhaps you should be concerned that there's a bunch of Satanist cannibals with male pattern baldness that are running our country and all of our armed forces, and they let people like Al-Qaeda attack us and don't do shit about it. Perhaps that's reason for concern, you know? Now, this list of female generals with male pattern baldness just goes on and on and on. And none of them are really females. There's one of their leaders. She need to leave it. These are not females. So the point is for one, the armed forces are discriminating. They're showing favoritism to all their Satanist cannibal cross-dressers. And they don't like women or hire women, it seems like. Because look at all these people. I don't believe any of these people are women. Now, mind you, some of my best friends, like the only people that I'd even come close to even calling friends, are cross-dressers. That's not the issue here. The issue here is that all of the women that are in charge of our armed forces are all cross-dressers, and they all have male pattern baldness because they're Satanists. Cross-dressers don't have male pattern baldness just because they're cross-dressers. They have male pattern baldness because they're Satanists. There's a difference. Now you gotta ask yourself, is this not discrimination? Is this not reason for concern? Anyway, this is just a rough draft. I'm gonna have to do a lot more work and edit this more, but you get the idea. So here's some more of the females from the U.S. Air Force official Instagram account. Notice, all of them have male pattern baldness. Now you ladies out there, do you have male pattern baldness? These aren't ladies. These are Satanist cannibals that wear wigs. Some of them are female, most of them are cross-dressers. That's the truth. All these people, they're all Satanist cannibals, and that's why they all have male pattern baldness. It is statistically impossible for it to be a coincidence that all these women all have male pattern baldness, and it's just a coincidence. That's impossible. And on top of that, the fucking Air Force has people throwing Satanist gang signs on their official Instagram account. They're telling you. They're literally admitting the shit. They want you to know. Why? Probably because they don't think that good things are going to happen for America, and some of these people want the best for us. Not many of them, but some of them maybe. You know. I mean, it's either that, or perhaps that they're so brazen that they're just like, showing their gang signs and just showing off the fact they're Satanists because they don't think that anybody will, outsiders will know what it is, and they're just that bold. Anyway, I'll leave you with these other Air Force Satanists throwing up the Satanist cannibal whatever gang sign, and I'm just probably gonna pause right here. I don't know if I'll finish this tonight or tomorrow, but yeah, I worked on this for like the past 2 days. There was a lot to do, and there's a lot of very touchy subjects, and I don't want to try to offend anybody or come off like some sort of bigot. I'm not. All I want is the best for my country, for all of us, whether that we're straight or gay or, whatever color we are. I just want the best for America, and these people aren't good for America. They're Satanists. They're rapists, murderers, cannibals. We can't trust them. They've taken over our country.